All right, everybody, it's Tuesday, and that means it's Pet Talk Tuesday. And this morning, local vet Dr. Lucas Candifer is back to talk about cancer and your pet. And Buffalo Animal Shelter volunteer Dustin Yerman returns with this week's most adoptable pet, who happens to be Zeus with blue eyes.
One
Dustin,
blue eye, at least.
One blue eye. He's gorgeous.
Zeus is a Pomsky, which is a Pomeranian Husky mix. In other words, a overpriced mutt that someone paid a lot of money for, in my opinion. I just think he's a Husky mix. So he was surrendered very recently to the shelter for moving reasons. He's a really nice size. He's about 30, 35 pounds. And he's going to stay that size. He's got a beautiful fur coat.
He does.
They did take very good care of him. Just a very friendly, outgoing, happy-go-lucky young dog. He's going to stay a nice medium size. I've owned Huskies in the past, and be prepared for some shedding, as he did in my car on the way here. So they do require a little upkeep, some and exercise and stimulation.
Right.
But they're great companions.
Yeah, and one blue eye.
One blue eye.
Yeah.
He'll be the talk of the town walking him.
And he is available right now at the Buffalo Animal Shelter.
And once he's adopted, he'll be neutered, fully vaccinated, microchipped, ready to go.
Okay. So Zeus is waiting.
And we do have an event this Saturday where it's Clear the Shelter Saturday.
Clear the Shelter Saturday.
It's going to be reduced adoption fees on cats and dogs. It's a great deal.
Okay.
I don't think Zeus will be there. I'm sure he'll be long adopted since then, but we have a lot of other great dogs and cats.
And then come out to bark in the park after that at Delaware Park.
Yeah.
All right.
New dog.
Let's talk about cancer in your pet. And I believe that just like people, cancer doesn't always mean one thing with your pet. There's a lot of great treatment.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, a diagnosis of cancer is never anything anyone wants to deal with and anyone wants to hear. But there are a lot of options, you know, depending upon location, depending upon the type, that may be surgical, that may be, you know, they do chemotherapy in dogs, and a lot of people may not know that or may not know exactly what that means, but really what chemotherapy for our dogs is different from people in they don't lose their fur. We're looking for basically next to no side effects. They're happy dogs, they extend their life and their quality of life. You know, we're not trying to make them live 40 more years like in people. We're trying to make them have, you know, 2-3 more good years if we can, comfortably. You know, so there are options that people may not be aware of that, you know, are not this, you know, either everything or nothing.
Exactly.
And when we talk about cancer in our pets, a lot of people, you know, on the surface, we see lumps and bumps, and we kind of ignore them and say, well, you know, it doesn't seem to hurt them. Cancer is just one type of cell, and they don't usually have neural cells, so they don't actually have the ability to feel pain due to just a lump or a bump, and they can be really aggressive. So making sure that you identify new lumps and bumps to your doctor and make sure that they can assess them, you know, get good measurements on it, and anything that's growing rapidly, you know, is a real red flag to make sure we're getting it looked at.
Are there more common cancers in dogs?
There are. You know, in the end, they can get more or less every single thing that we can get.
Interesting.
You know, their system is outside of being on 4 legs. You know, they have all the same systems as we do. And when I do say that cancer is not painful, pancreatic cancer in people is extremely painful. And it's really if the lump is interfering with the way the system works, that's why it becomes painful. So when we talk about internal cancers, those are ones where, you know, people come in and say, my cat or my dog just isn't right. And they don't really, you know, say, I know why this is happening or why this is happening, but they seem like they're really off. And that's why, you know, your veterinarian will check some routine blood work, look to make sure metabolically they're all well. But when everything looks really normal, but they're still not right, that's when we start to look, you know, with some imaging to find out if there's something growing inside.
And just like people, like Dr. Candifer says, get to the doctor right away for your best course of treatment.
The earlier we catch these, the better we can do with them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And Dustin, we want everybody to know Zeus is waiting for some wonderful new owner over at the Buffalo Animal Shelter. He's up for adoption right now. But we're out of time for today. Thanks for joining us. And by the way, remember, enjoy Channel 7 Day at the Erie County Fair with only $5 admission. And then Courtney and I will be back tomorrow with another brand new show. So someone adopt Zeus, everybody. Bye-bye.